You're listening to BoomBox Weekly.
What's up, and welcome to BoomBox Weekly. This is our first official episode. We got a very special guest in the building. He's an icon, legend, actor, producer, director. You may have seen him with J-Lo, Britney Spears, Prince, Michael Jackson. You name it, he's done it. I'm your co-host, Gentel Sharrie. I'm joined by my other co-host, Josh Martin. Josh, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm excited to be here. This is an amazing opportunity. Shout out to 24/7 Live Culture for allowing us to use their platform. We got so many dope and interesting people that's gonna be stopping through and chopping it up with us. Yeah, like I said, I'm excited. These are exciting times, so make sure y'all tap in, man. It's gonna be lit for sure.
Definitely. And before we get into everything, I want to give a shout out to our proud sponsors, 24/7 Live Culture. 24/7 Live Culture is the premier multimedia platform for Black creatives dedicated towards changing the landscape of Black culture and media. 24/7 Live Culture serves as a resource for artists to share their work with the world. We offer musicians, actors, entertainers, and business owners the space to tell their stories through exclusive interviews. Tap in on the site for the latest Black culture news from around the world, 247liveculture.com, and follow us on all social media platforms, 24/7 Live Culture. Now let's hop into these live topics, hot topics that we got here.
Yeah.
So recently, we did lose a legend icon, Tina Turner. She passed away at the age of 83. It was a sad day when we got the news. Josh, how did it impact you?
Yes, it was very sad. Tina Turner is a legend. She has inspired so many people in the music business. She was immortalized in the iconic movie "What's Love Got to Do with It" by Angela Bassett. Like that movie. Like I said, her memory will live on through the movie. Yeah, the things that she went through, going through her domestic violence situation with Ike. Yeah, she's definitely somebody that I would look at as an inspiration, somebody who's strong. She just exemplified strong strength in women, a strong woman. And yeah, it was sad to see her leave here. But 83, I saw on the timeline that some people were saying that she was gone too soon, but 83 that's a nice number to me. If I can stay here that long to 83, like, I'll be satisfied. And so, yeah, but at the end of the day, it was sad to see her go, but she definitely left her mark on this world.
Yeah, she truly did leave her mark. I mean, like you said, from her movie, What's Love Got to Do with It, just to see everything she went through, and she kept on striving after all the adversity she has gone through, from being abandoned by her mom at the age of 11, going through her domestic violence situation with Ike. I mean, she she was a true strong woman, but her dance moves, her singing, everyone could feel it when she graced the stage with her presence. She even, I don't know if you know this, Josh, but she broke the Guinness World Record of selling over $180,000 worth of ticket sales. Like, that's how like huge Tina Turner was. Like, she's amazing. I do want to like give everybody a quote that spoke to me when I found it. She said, "People think my life has been tough, but I think it has been a wonderful journey. The older you get, the more you realize it's not what happens, but how you deal with it." She literally showed us throughout her life, it doesn't matter like what you go through. You can go through the hardest thing. You're gonna come out on top if you deal with it the right way. And that's what Tina Turner did. And that's what I love about Tina Turner.
Yeah, for sure. That was a powerful quote. Like it hit home right. It hit home right then, like in this moment, because like when you think about all of our journeys, I'm pretty sure like when this ain't got to be no testimony or nothing, but we've all been through different things, and for us to be where we are now, we're here for a reason. And yeah, just like I said, you said it all. Like she just exemplified what strength is to me, and like that would definitely be her lasting legacy, like just somebody who dealt with adversity, took it on the chin, and like kept it moving.
For sure, for sure. May she rest in peace. Now, Josh, I know you watched the Celtics and Miami Heat game.
For sure, I did. Yeah, it was crazy. Game 7, like I really expected the Celtics to win. To be honest, Gentel, I've been wrong like the entire playoffs. Like to be honest with you, I thought that the Bucks and the Suns were gonna link back up in the finals as in a rematch from the 2021 finals. Like that's what I was thinking coming in, but both of those squads got sent by the wayside because of injuries and running into good teams who couldn't miss from deep. And like the game has changed so much, everybody's shooting threes. But yeah, the Miami Heat, like they did it, led by Jimmy Butler. um an incredible story, like when you think about the amount of undrafted players that are on their squad that are playing above their draft status or their pay rate or whatever. They're stepping up to the plate, and that comes from like great coaching. So yeah, the Heat did their thing in that series. Like, who do you like in the finals?
So I would have to go with the Nuggets just because they are the underdog. It's the first time in franchise history that they have a chance, to win the NBA championship. So I'm gonna root for them, but I'm 50-50. If the Heat wins, I'm okay with that too. But I would like to see a Nuggets get a ring.
Yeah, like I like it. I like to see that too. But I just think, like I said, like my gut is no longer reliable when it comes to sports. Like in 2023, it's been all bad. So whatever I think I know, like I honestly, truly don't know. So my gut is telling me, the Nuggets in 6, but on paper, I'm gonna put Heat in 6. Because like if you're going to Vegas anytime soon, like make sure you bet the opposite of whatever I say, because like yeah, it's just been all over the place. But I think the Heat gonna win this one. Like I just feel as though Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat gonna get the job done.
Yeah, you might be right because I was expecting the Lakers, to be in these NBA finals. So the Heat might take it up a notch.
You a LeBron fan?
I am a LeBron fan. LeBron, Kobe, I live in LA, so gotta be a Lakers fan.
No Clippers, no Clippers. Clippers or the Lakers?
Definitely Lakers. I mean, I like the Clippers too, but if I had to choose, it would be the Lakers.
For sure, for sure.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to have our special guest. Now the moment we've all been waiting for. We got the legend, icon in the building. He's a producer, actor, dancer. He's worked with J-Lo, Prince, Michael Jackson, and he even has an MTV Music Award.
That's right, Gentel. This man has done it all. I know I first saw him in the Showtime show Soul Food, which he also won the NAACP Image Award for his portrayal of Lim in that series. He recently put out a new documentary on the All Black Network entitled Darrin's Dance Grooves, the Darrin Henson Story. He's a motivational speaker. He's an author. New shows, Family Business on BET, the hit show Double Cross. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Darrin Henson.
Good to be on with you.
Thank you for coming today. We're just so excited.
Yes, sir. Yes, thanks for hopping on our platform. You're involved in a lot of different things. Like, where do you get this energy from? Like, where does your story start? How do we get to this amazing person that we see today?
Well, one of the things I give thanks to the Most High for my energy. A lot of people they have done less and have lost their lives. I have been blessed to live a very, very abundant life, and some of the things that I learned very early on, I'm thank God that I'm still here because I made a lot of wrong choices as well. People, places, and things. So I give thanks for the Most High for my blessings. I give thanks to my ancestors for protecting me, watching over me. And other than that, I try to live a life filled with passion. Everything that I do it passionately. So whether it's dancing, choreographing, acting, writing, speaking, I do it with a passion. And I think that will lead you when you are passionate about what you do. I think it will lead you to your purpose. So
Now, when did you get that bug where you found your purpose? Like, when did it finally click for you?
I mean, I knew what I wanted to do at 5 years old. I mean, there was never any mistaking that. I knew I wanted to be an entertainer at 5. I graduated high school. I left. I moved to Japan. I was performing. So I traveled a lot overseas: France, Italy, Sweden, Germany, Iceland. I traveled a lot. I wanted to learn the world through cultivation firsthand. And for me, that was the way I wanted to go. I couldn't sit down in a classroom for 8 hours a day for another 4 years. I wanted to participate in the world.
Did those experiences drive you to get into acting as well?
Acting came as a result of me being satisfied with dance and choreography. Acting was a result of me figuring out the next level of what I was doing in entertainment. All of my desires and needs were satisfied as a dancer and a choreographer. So acting was just the next stage for me to develop the side of me that wanted to communicate. And I thought it would be best to do that through the medium of acting.
Yeah, because I saw on your documentary that once you won your MTV Music Awards, you were like, I think I'm done, but you kept on going.
Yeah, like what else do you do after all of your dreams come true? You create new dreams. And I think if you can develop your dreams while your other dreams are coming true, um, that way you stay in a trajectory of moving forward. I think what happens with a lot of people is they just focus on their dream, and once they realize it, well, what comes next? And so you have to actively be participating in the awareness of what you're getting in the moment. And so when you do that, I think you can continue because there's a natural development, elevation, communication process that happens in the momentum of what it is that you're doing. And so for me, that was acting. There's like the triple threat, right? Singer, dancer, actor. Now, I don't sing, but it was the second level for me in terms of communication as an entertainer.
Okay, well, the writer's strike, were you affected by that? How important are writers to the film and entertainment industry?
Well, we know that everything that we say on screen comes from writers. So it's a little bit rhetorical to ask, how important is it? But it's everything, because without the writers, everything is an ad lib, right? That's a reality show. And we're tired of those, right? Like I wish they would just wipe these so-called reality shows off television, because I think they're destroying TV and the medium of acting. And it's created a whole new monster And what I mean by that is, these people that come on and, are spitting at each other and pulling each other's hair and cursing at each other, that's not acting. That's dysfunction is what it is. And so writers are incredibly important because without them, we have nothing to say on screen. So I think what they're fighting for is incredibly valid, and we stand with them. It's difficult, but without the creativity of the writers, you don't have shows or films.
So do you think with the writer's strike going on and then also with SAG possibly going to strike soon, do you
The
think
actors strike, yeah, that's next.
yeah, how long do you think that's going to last us?
Who knows? I think what they're fighting for is key. Actors lived off of their residuals for years. And because of these new media contracts, there's no residuals outside of network television anymore. And now you have AI. They can take your voice and your face and create a whole new show from it. Your likeness and image in perpetuity. If you're signing contracts like that say or use the language in perpetuity. So, it's a very interesting time. It's a very creative time as well, but it's a very interesting time, and it's a time that we must protect our intellectual properties, which are our faces and our voices. I think we're already being excuse the expression, especially speaking when a woman is on this communication, but being raped, whether that's male or female. I think that, we're getting raped and robbed enough. So to not receive residuals for, work that you're doing, I believe if you do a job, you get paid for it. And if that gets sold somewhere else, then the rightful part of that is you should get paid for that work in perpetuity as long as it's playing. And so they've somehow managed to create wording where, currently actors don't get paid. And so, it's really important because, that's, even though you get hired as an actor to do a job and that becomes the intellectual property of the owner of that particular piece, but it should be a residual income that happens if they can sell it to 5 different networks and they are making money off of your face and your voice. So it's very, very important what's happening. And sometimes, certain fights are longer than others, but I think it's worth it in the long run.
Like, do you think anything dealing with ChatGPT, anything automated, do you think it could potentially bring out raw human, real emotion?
I think the train has left the station. It's not going to stop. Look, try typing everything that you type on a typewriter. Once computers were made, typewriters were obsolete. So what I mean by that is the train has left the station. You're not going to slow down technology. It's just going to speed up. And so I think that with the advancements that are happening, it's not going to stop. It's the advancements they're here to stay. And so, we've got to figure out how to find our place in the horror.
Yes, we do. Now, Darrin, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. You have an amazing story. I mean, it's incredible all the things you have done. Like, I'm in shock that I'm just even talking to you right now. So you have your Darrin's Dance Crew, the untold story of Darrin Henson on All Black, your documentary. Tell us what we can learn from it. Tell us what your fans can see when they tune in and tap in and watch your story.
Thank you for that. The Darrin's Dance Crew's Untold Darrin Henson Story is on the All Black Network as well as Amazon Prime. And really what it is, it's 35 years or actually more than that, of information, of the beginnings of where I came from, who I came from, where I came from. And, my story as it unfolded in life And really, it was an opportunity for me to show people you don't have to know every step. Like Dr. Martin Luther King said, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just one step at a time. You just got to keep moving forward. You know, look, I think there's a disservice that we have in this world today with technology. You know, as easy as it makes things, it also makes things difficult. There's a price to pay for everything. And one of the prices that we pay is addiction. You know, we scroll, which causes cognitive dissonance, causes confusion, causes depression. People get to live a life on the internet that's not real life. People can pretend to be popping and happy and being this person, and they're miserable, you know, but they're trying to project this image out into, you know, the world, but they don't really experience that on a daily basis. They're not really doing anything with their lives. They haven't done anything. And so they get to hide behind these small screens and pretend, which is just going to create more confusion and more cognitive dissonance. And so, you know, there has to be a point in time where you disconnect, you know, and get back to living life and get back to developing your inner self. Most people don't know themselves, you know, unfortunately, because they're not taking the time to develop themselves. So they're not getting anywhere, you know, and, you know, where you have the internet or like IG, women can go on there and get instant gratification by being naked now. You know what I mean? Like everybody is booty popping. Everybody is half naked. Like everybody
Literally.
is taking off their clothes for likes. It's, you know, and I'm a man. I love women. I like seeing a beautiful body. It's, you know, and then I erase so much. And when you turn it back on, they're sending you so much stuff. You know, like I stopped following people because some of the stuff was just crazy and gratuitous and just, I was like, and some of these people have children and mothers and fathers. I'm like, I mean, women are literally putting their coochies in thongs and then pulling the thong to make it tight so you could actually see their imprints. It's crazy what's happening to me. And then they go, oh yeah, well, you're watching it. Well, you can't not watch it. It comes up on feeds. But it makes me think about where women are mentally today. Like, and where men are mentally, and where our society is mentally, because life imitates art and art imitates life. So to me, it's a whirlpool of self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. And, you know, I'm watching us burn slowly. And it's crazy. And all in the name of likes and money. People have lost their integrity and self-respect. And it's sad to me. It's very sad.
Anything for clout.
Yes, sir. It's
Yeah,
very,
you know, and we live in a society now that says if you say anything about it, you know, you're hating on people, or it's cancel culture. And that's a created system as well. And so, you know, those people who are in power created it that way. So you can't work against them. And everything that you could be building that's good is exacerbated by the actions of the way most are going now. So, you know, we're fighting against ourselves. You know, it's like, you know, a step forward and 3 steps back. It's really sad.
one of the things that I took away from the documentary, and you said it yourself, is just you wanted to put out the proper information, and you know, being and in doing so, I'm pretty sure you inspired so many different people. On social, I've recently been checking you out, and you do a great job of hosting these acting seminars and, you know, speaking engagements. And you know, how does that satisfy you, knowing that people look at you as an inspiration, and what can they potentially learn from you? You know, I'm curious to know, like, how does that make you feel, knowing that you've touched so many different people?
That's a great question. And the answer is, it fulfills me because I get to let these people know you don't have to get on the casting couch. You don't have to bend over, to get the jobs, but you do have to be good at what you do. And what separates those people who are good is putting in the work. Those people who want to be actors, well, read and study your craft. Put in 8 to 10 hours a day, putting in the work, opposed to scrolling for 8 to 10 hours a day on Instagram and Facebook, right? People call themselves models. Well, what is a model? How do you model? How do you get a good agent? How do you get to deal with good photographers? Everybody's a photographer now, everybody. And people fall prey to that, right? Because women will prostitute themselves to be a model now. So they'll do anything. And men are prostituting themselves by putting themselves in a position to lie about what they do. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm watching all of these people just fake the funk. And really, my documentary is about working hard and being creative and allowing that to speak for you and showing that you can make it. You can make millions of dollars keeping it real. You can make millions of dollars from being creative. You can make millions of dollars from holding your vision and trusting the process. You can make millions of dollars by cultivating your relationships with positive people who have already got what you want, and you role modeling them, you making them your friends, you seeking out success. Success leaves clues. You just got to put your magnifying glass in the right place and become a detective. And so, but I see everybody else want to take shortcuts. I see everybody else want the, Instagram, instant gratification, or, everybody, it's like, people walking around with all these injections in their face, and then years later developing all these illnesses because they went and got this injected, that injected, all for the sake of so-called beauty. Well, what happened to natural beauty? What happened to natural talent that's developed from hard work? What happened? I speak to a lot of people, and they want to send me questions for interviews and have me write the questions down. That's lazy as hell. You are the interviewer. You ask the questions. Why do you want me to develop the questions and send them to you? You don't get the interview. No, thank you. I'm not interested. And they call this way a new system. No, very much like yourselves, you're asking me questions and I can answer them. That's how you interview people, not by telling the person, send us the questions you want us to ask. Incredibly lazy. And I don't give those people interviews because I don't respect them.
Yeah, that is wild. So because social media has taken over so much, do you feel, and I do think when you work hard, you will get there, but do you feel because people have a strong social media presence and they might not be like the top actor in the world, do you feel like they get the gigs over someone who doesn't have a strong social media presence?
I think that exists. I think popularity is always key, to anything. But look, I'm 55 years old. I'm not worrying about what somebody else is doing. I'm not worrying about somebody else's popularity. I think that we all have the opportunity to be good at what we do if we put in the work. If we put in the mental work, the emotional work, if we put in the day-to-day work. People want to be famous, but what are you willing to trade for the fame? Are you willing to put in the work? When you're an actor, when you're a singer, when you're a dancer, when you're a model, it's more than just doing what you're doing, it comes from developing relationships. That's what gets you the job. You know, you've got to be able to speak with people on common ground in order to even get in the room. As a journalist, you got to journal. You got to write. You got to learn to ask questions. You have to learn to communicate. And so I'm beyond kind of whitewashing things. I'm beyond making people feel comfortable. I'm here to tell you the truth. And that's one of the reasons I was interested in doing this interview, is because I want to speak to my peers as well as your peers about what the truth is. And sometimes the truth is hard to hear for those people who want it the easy way. It gets easier when you're good at what you do, because more people will recognize you and things will get easier. But to whom much is given, much is required. Do the work. No shortcuts.
Can you give us some, advice on handling success? Like, we worked hard, we put in the work, we're good, but just say for instance the Ja Morant situation. He was on Instagram live flashing a pistol or whatever. Being in tune with your purpose, like, could you give us some advice on just handling success when you get to that level?
First of all, Mr. Morant knew what he was doing. Everybody's blaming the person that was recording it. He was the one holding the gun. He knew what he was doing. Like, where do we stop taking the responsibility off of the person who's actually initiating the actions? Look, I've done a lot of things in my life. I got to take responsibility for everything I did. Period. So this is what I say about success. Success, the air of success is very thin. Meaning, you better learn to work out, because the air of success is very thin. In order for you to handle success, you're going to have to be able to breathe in order to stay up there. Well, if you don't do the work, if you are not staying healthy, you're not going to stay at that successful place, because you won't be able to handle that air. If you understand what I'm saying, it takes a lot. Those people who are able to maintain their level of high success, they go through a lot of shit. Trust me when I tell you, they make it look easy, but they got more money, they got more problems, they got more enemies, they got more bills, they got more people asking them for things. Don't just think they're successful and it is made easy. They got more lawsuits, they got more people trying to get their money. It's what it is. You open yourself for attacks when you're successful. It is what it is. Trust me, I know.
I believe it. I believe it. So can you tell us and the viewers what you have coming up, what you're working on, what we can see in store for you?
Well, right now, you can definitely watch the Untold Darrin Henson Story on the All Black Network and Amazon Prime. You can watch, I think The Family Business is on right now on
Yes.
BET. So this is the last episode today of the 4th season of The Family Business. You can expect a new season of Double Cross. I don't know if we're going to have a new season of Family Business, but season 5 of Double Cross will be coming either later this year in the winter time or at the top of next year, in January or February, like it always comes out. But you can watch season 1 through 4 right now on the All Black Network. And also I have a movie called Bid for Love Part 2 coming out on BET. And I have another couple of projects that I produced coming out. One is called Mississippi Christmas, and the other one is called A House Ain't a Home. And those are projects that I either produced or directed.
Nice. It's crazy because for Bit of Love 2, Arthur Muhammad, the director, he posted your picture, and I actually worked with him on a documentary a couple years ago. So when he posted that today, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm literally interviewing him today. It was just like so ironic.
Yeah, he's amazing. I love Mr. Muhammad. Like, he's really a beautiful, beautiful person. So I was happy to work with him and the production, which was amazing. And I'm looking forward for great things, with that film.
Yes, be looking out for it.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna be on the lookout for it. I meant you said Mississippi Christmas. I'm actually from Mississippi, so like I'm curious to see like what's the story gonna be behind it? Like what motivated you to come to my state?
It's actually a great story. I'm excited about it. I really love Mississippi. I know y'all got a lot of stuff going on there. They just passed a new Jim Crow law that
Yeah.
was an old Jim Crow law, which is crazy to me. But you know, I say stay safe. I want to do an all-white party out in Mississippi with no hoods, but an all-white party. I want to do one out there because you know we started the all-white season, and we've had a couple we have one in Tampa, we have one in Georgia. I'm supposed to be doing one in Savannah, but I want to come to Mississippi. You think Mississippi will come out if I do an all-white party? Will
Oh,
they
most
support?
definitely. Most definitely. Yeah, they'll support, like for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about coming out and doing that.
All right, say less, say less. But Mr. Henson, like we're in a part of the show now where we kind of like want some rapid fire answers from you, like real quick. You don't have to go too deep into it. We kind of want to like give our listeners an opportunity to see your personality from a different side. And yeah, the name of this segment is called basically 5 questions with an unpopular opinion. And I'm like I said, I'm gonna ask you like some random questions, nothing too deep. I just curious to hear your responses. And then at the end, I would like for you to give us an unpopular opinion. It can be simple, something it's the final season. So it could be about sports like LeBron over MJ or
I got you. I'm ready.
okay. Say less, say less. All right, so the first question that I have for you, what's harder, preparing for an acting role or remembering a dance routine?
For me now, a dance routine because you know I stopped dancing quite a few years ago, so it would take a lot more practice for me.
All right, okay. I got one for you. Is it possible to have romance without finance?
Uh, no, no. Um, and I say that is because if you have romance, finance is going to be a part of that. You've got to take care of yourself, and you got to, show the other person, some level of creative, prowess when it comes to dating. And so it doesn't have to be a lot of finances, but yeah, you're going to have to spend some money.
Thanks, for sure, for sure. What's your favorite dish to cook? Like what you be cooking up?
My favorite dish to cook, wow, that's a good question. I like whiting fish and grits. Cajun grits and whiting.
Interesting combination. What is something you were taught as a child that turned out to be false?
That I couldn't afford certain things. I think some of us have wealth wounds because our parents instilled negative thoughts in our head. I can't afford it. That costs too much. Money from the sky, money don't grow on trees. All of that is false. You can have anything you want. You can develop any level of fortitude. If your mind can conceive it, you can achieve it. You just gotta you can't have wealth wounds. You can't operate from lack and limitation.
Thank you so much for coming on this show. Where can we find you on social media? Where can everyone follow you to tap in with what you got going on?
Oh, definitely. You can find me on Instagram, whatever I'm on, at I am Darrin, DARRIND Henson, HENSON. I am Darrin D. Henson. And definitely come to my website, which is God's Billboard T-shirts. GODS, God's Billboard T-shirts. And the reason I want to invite you there is because I have a clothing line called God's Billboard T-shirts. And it's really wonderful, positive affirmations. Also, all of my books are on that website as well. So you can order any of my books if they're not sold out. You can order any of the shirts if they're not sold out, and any of my events that I'm doing, like my acting workshop or the all-white parties, you can find on the God's Billboard T-shirts.com website.
Nice, nice. Well, y'all make sure y'all tap into that. Darrin, you dropped some gems today for us. We're going to jot that down. We're going to take the notes. We're going to add it to our life so we can be as successful as you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I appreciate my publicist for making this happen, Miss Fields. Thank you so much, and it's good to be on with you. Hopefully I've said something that's going to make a difference in someone's life.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Thank you.
Thanks.
You're listening to BoomBox Weekly.